what happens when you are a true lover. What happens is you know about Stephen Porges, you know about your 0 1 year old, and you're a securely attached human being. So it's not boring. Actually, it's very beautiful because you're a consistent, contingent communicator, beginning with yourself. So you know how to tend to your 0 1 year old. Okay, so I support people who want to be their authentic self. Being yourself means your inner world. Now that I'm attachment trauma informed, I know all about that first 3 years of your life, and then after, so implicit memory and yada yada yada. Love is unconditional. You are here to master it if you don't have it already. If you do have it, then you know all about it. And we get to talk about lovers. So lovers don't take things and make it into a competition. We don't get offended. We don't think of, if you lie in my face or behind my back, that you're a piece of shit as you get older and as you get attachment trauma informed, because you understand that for some people, thoughts and emotions are irrefutable facts. So you can try to support people to expand and become what is their restorative embodiment self, and that's if they want to become their self with the herd in mind. Okay, so on that note, we hear the tone, and then with attachment trauma information, I know how to leave it alone, because Pacha knows Cuscos are in town when a Cusco doesn't hear how they're handling themselves. And that's where it doesn't take long for a teenager who has secure attachment to figure it's not personal, which is what has taken place when I was a teenager. And then with our twin flames, we also know instinctively, the divine feminine knows that we don't need a coach. No. I'm learning how to master my emotional, mental, and physical. When I got my twin flames, I knew where I was at with each and every one of them. In fact, I also knew the challenge that I was being presented. And it's an opportunity, not a challenge in a way of, oh, I don't want it. No, it's a challenge that is enjoyable once you are looking to the past. As you're going through it, you're like, okay, I know some things, and I know I don't know all things, and I know that sometimes I get frustrated because I don't know all things, but I know that my thoughts and my emotions are not facts, and I'm experiencing what is called a person who's expanding consciousness. That's the infinite higher human conscious potential. Okay, so that's what we also do here. Enlightenment Soul Age Group, no laundry. It's emotions, and we become more and more of our 1 year old, 3 year old, all of it. Okay, so for me, I am a person who knows how to tend to Maria every time I get into a mood. Why? Because does anybody remember being a kid and then growing up? Do you remember how'd your friends treat you? How'd your lovers treat you? Oh, I can remember. I'm not emotional in my personal opinion. I'm just a human who's emotional. So meaning I'm not overly emotional, which is why whenever a man or a woman or they will say anything like that, my brain's immediately like, yeah, okay, sure. I know that I just met what is, one, a person who's treating me by telling me that my emotions are not validated. I will not be presenting to them that they are, because I validate me. And so Pacha's already tending to me, and I got a Cusco in front of me, which is a 16-year-old who just didn't hear what came out of their mouth. It doesn't need to be presented. I'm not asking you to soothe my nervous system. I know how to be my safe haven. It's a point I'm trying to make. So we know what romance is. Romance is a person who has the capacity to hold space for their 1 year old, my 1 year old. It's not hard, and it's not boring. It's actually thrilling and beautiful. What happens when we have a 1 year old who's afraid of this? Well, we have that if they're aware, they're going to be like, okay, I know I want a healthy self-worth woman partner at my side, and I know that I can see one, or man. I want it. I'm going to get myself in check, and I'm going to go get it. That's it. There is no in and out. If a person's ready to be their authentic self, they're ready for healthy self-worth partners. If a person's not ready for that, they're ready for another wheel with potential unfinished business, which is 2024. No person actually is void of being able to find out that children of childhood abuse will lie to themselves because they were lied to, and they have shame. So they're gonna be in the. You don't need a pathology list of, hey, don't treat me this way. Those are people with Elsa journey capes. It's going to be, I want a healthy self-worth partner now, not tomorrow, because that's the minute that you're like, okay, I'm not a piece of shit. I grew up with dysregulated nervous system. I'm used to that. And it's as common sense as it gets. This is so straightforward. Yeah, I don't need a magic wand. I got all the data, people. Where do you want it? Which is why I know people who want love, they're going to know, come on over to IHP. Because seriously, does anybody still want the movies? I mean, those movies are pretty shitty, I have to say. They consistently live out like, I don't even know. I know that I was just as much teenager as anybody else. Okay, and I remember getting out of my limbic system, but I also remember knowing my thoughts and emotions are not truths to the extent of where I'm going to come insult you or make up some, you know. So I am very appreciative that I personally have a good gut, I have a good heart, I have a good mind. This means they're effective. When I say good, I'm not saying good or bad, and I will not always explain my words, but I've done a couple where I use the word good and I'm like, shit, somebody's gonna think I'm meaning good as in good. No, I learned how not to cast stones. In fact, I don't judge a book by its cover at all because I'm not a hypocrite. Jesus told me how to forgive. I also told, hey, God, there's no humbleness out there. I pretty much see all these people that are saying your name and they're using Jesus. They don't seem to know what love is. I know what love is. You made it pretty clear. I made you the way you were meant to be. Treat people the way you want to be treated. It's not very hard to understand. Oh, keeping that heart open, by the way, though. Not if you're closing it, then you're pretending. I'm going to notice because you're going to be as cold as ice. Yeah, that sacrifice nothing because your 0-1-year-old is what I'm going to be thinking about. Okay, so the somatic empath, 5D mystic attachment, trauma-informed person. I can be a Wendy to some people, pseudoscience lady, because I bring human, spiritual, and spirituality elements, subject matters together. But what I'm not is somebody that doesn't know how to be myself and then how to explain to you what is at this point not only integrated knowledge, it's complete understanding and wisdom, but it's also integrated. So my brain, the only time I thought my emotions and thoughts were facts was at my age of 8, as I remember it. That's an explicit memory, it's called. My 3-year-old loves life to the death of me. My most favorite childhood memory is my 3 years of age, and where I lost the usage of my words, and all I was doing was laughing. This was in my hypnotherapy session. And I still remember, it was amazing. I was like, okay, that's making a lot of sense to me right now. So when I'm with people who don't have space for my 0-1-year-old, my 0-1-year-old gets sad. But I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. Nothing's personal. Remember, we're nervous systems. All is good. Okay? So when somebody notices that they get afraid because of a lover that says, I love you, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're pretty, you laugh, I love you, come over. If they are ready to say, I welcome me, they're going to say, hey, come here. Hey, come here. Let me look in your eyes. Look, I'm scared shitless, by the way, and I have an attitude. I have a big attitude. This is what here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's all of the lists. It's all healable, by the way. I go to good therapy, not the bad ones. Yeah, the good ones. This is where they're effective. So good means effective. Nothing to do. There's academics they're talking about. Should we really say people are inherently good or evil? No, not at all. Good or bad. Yeah, that's exactly where IHP here, we're all unconditionally lovers. Oh no, I have no conditions, but if I don't want to be around you, I will make sure to be clear by not engaging in activities with you at all, not engaging in salutation. I will completely not engage. So yes, technically I'm not seeing you, but I don't have to because I don't have to make friends with everyone in order for me to say I unconditionally love all people, or are we going to have some linear thinker say, yeah, you do? There are plenty of those. They're called Cuscos in my book. I let them ask me all the questions. They interrogate me all the time. And then they bring me where they want. It's what an adaptive child does. They know they're right from the get-go. So they're going to get you to follow their ducks. And all lo and behold, they bring you all the way full circle. Like, oh, sure, yeah, whatever. Hey, it was nice getting to know you because I'm not your mirror. I am a portal of myself. And you just hung out with me. And I got to, resonate by listening to the 3-year-old who wanted the floor to tell me all about themselves, by interpreting me in a way that's pretty interesting. I didn't say any of what you just did, but I'm going to let you enjoy yourself because now you think you won something, really. Oh, this is what makes me laugh about some people. So with that being said, I do notice when I have individuals around me that are of this interesting, engaging activity, and all I'm going to say is that's not in any way, shape, or form what romance is. I'm thinking about this couple that I don't even know if they're going anywhere. All I know is that you meet a 1-year-old, you meet what love is. And if you run away from it, I know what fear looks like. And it don't look pretty. Go watch Terry Real, What is Unfinished Business? And he shares with you what love-dependent, desperate, manipulative people do in shame. He also shares with you what they do in grandiosity. They get controlling and angry. He'll explain to you what the love avoidance do in grandiosity. They just think they're better than anybody else and they just leave. "Ah, I'm so great," and that's not funny at all. The ones that end up love avoidance and shame, they literally want to die. This is really sad. This is his Terry Real's grid. Yeah, not funny. I've seen it all. Then we go to Patrick Teahan when he shares how toxic people, codependent, martyr superior, and blamers, they get together. Let's get together. Yeah. Go watch some movie like Hangover, Mean Girls. Just watch any of those movies that they have drama going on. You're going to see pseudo-live people. They're not a real boy, real girl, real they, because they're Pinocchio with ears and a tail. And Cusco's. So any person that I meet that does anything that looks like in and out behavior, I'm like, wow, that ain't no lover. That's a person. They're walking. Not on water, I can tell, because the minute that they're getting older, their energy's fizzling out. Mine is not. And I'm like, wow, did I just see that they went back in time? Back to the future. They don't look, though, younger. They look older and they look less energetic. I don't think they know what love is. Yeah, I don't think their 1-year-old came out. Oh, damn. Their 3-year-old didn't either. Okay, so my point is that women, men, and theys, they want to be their authentic self. So they're all up and in favor of personal development, self-help. And they don't say pseudoscience bullshit self-help crap because they know where to get data from, for one. So all people, they seem to say, yeah, everyone needs a therapist. No, not everybody, but they could use personal development exercises. And some people, yes, they do need therapists. And you know what I have noticed? The ones who do, they're spiritual bypassers. They're mantles of mental health. They're mantles of yoga. Oh, there's an Elsa mantle for anyone who wants a superhero cape. And they got a supervillain. And guess who's the rescuing party? Yes. So what you learn about trauma and attachment as a person who hears because of years that want to support people to be their self, the authentic you, the 4th step to recovery of trauma. They have uncovered in recent studies, thank you NICBM for my most recent course on trauma with them, besides disorganized, no, it was dissociative disorders, that's another one. Recent, meaning a couple months ago, but I have another 3 of trauma or 2. Then I got 1 with PTSD with Pat Ogden, and I got a bunch more, and I forget which ones, but I completed my Trauma Master series because that's the most important ones for me. The others are extra. PTSD is important because I know people with PTSD, so they might need me. Okay, so with that being said, the 4th step to recovery. So first, you witness trauma charges coming up. So for me, it's really easy. Oh, my 1-year-old wants a hug. Okay, I've been doing this for a while now, plus my panic attacks, right? So there's that. And then, oh, wait, process. So what happened? Well, I was having this, okay. So here's my integration of the narrative to process the emotion. It came up. Oh, let it go. So remember I did this artwork that came out, the really nice word? Yeah. So here's what happened in this place. Not only did I tell you I lost my earrings, I lost an earring, which I was like, okay, this is part of the letting go thing. Here's the 5D mystic lady. Circumstances in the night. They marry laughing and handsome, and that mirrors an invasion of the reflection of trust. Because trust is expanding consciousness. And that's because I have this capacity, like you can, to have an integrated brain. And I know the light is getting dimmer, but bear with me. So what happens when you are a person who purely loves and you enjoy people? You are going to speak always your truth, your throat, with your heart. And you're going to enjoy yourself and know that we're one big ball of energy and that we're all expanding. And as this full moon approaches, that's where some people are remembering that they are one and they can love. And that's really nice. And that's why we don't have sagas with our twin flames or soulmates or anything. We have all our own divine masculine, divine feminine, but we all have the light for each other when we're passionately conscious lovers. Romance can only come if you're consistent with me. If your 1-year-old is afraid of love, you're not going to be consistent with me. You're not going to be consistent because you don't connect to eternity within. let yourself be held by love. You're afraid of it. If you're afraid of it, you are afraid of it because you didn't feel wanted. Where? In your body, not mine. There's home waiting within. So that's what makes my eyes teary whenever I think of this consistently. Because I can do hard things. Because it is not as impossible as it may feel, because I feel my feelings without shame or helplessness. That's why I can do it. It's not hard for me. That's because I know I'm enough. I don't have to give anybody anything more. It's also why we don't do anything. You deserve to be seen. Yeah, I know that. Let yourself be known. I've always known that. And you know what? Disappointment is not the end. There's hope even in the darkest of nights. That happens. It's why we don't have a saga with our twin flames again. We can get rejected. I've moved beyond the concept of the one. There's a reason for that. Be true to who you are. Fear will not stop you from shining. Yes, I've never felt that I should stop being Maria. Okay, and so here's where you speak to yourself with kindness. Yep, you don't have to go alone. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. Reach out for support. What people know is that even if they reach out, they don't need necessarily, but it is nice to do what you can do to be in that present moment of your prefrontal cortex, because you do know the way. You can trust your intuition on this journey. Wow, I love this. It's time to remember, look back on your childhood and review your responsibilities. Not all of them are yours, okay? And so when you're listening to your inner child, this is where you can choose yourself. Do not deny your importance. And I love these. It is never truly the end. Beloved, in this, everything will be okay. And so here we go. Let it go. Everything serves. We all support each other to grow. And let's celebrate, in fact, today by spending time with each other and nature and setting healthy boundaries. And you can write a letter to your inner child if you want to. You don't have to. But on this note, today is a day where I share with you, for love, it's easy to love. When we meet fear, we are sad that there's fear. And as a 0-1-year-old who's whole, what I can say is I reassure myself and recalibrate easily, because I know that if somebody is not able to be kind to me, that Patrick Tiahan, that childhood trauma survivor, yes, his biggest regret is that his childhood made him unkind. So, secure attachment, women, men, and theys, we're here to support ourselves, and we know what love is, and it's not boring. It's consistent, contingent communication, and when somebody's afraid of it, then we will give them an extra hug and an extra hug if they want it, and we'll keep on hugging them until they're blue, like Migration or whatever, that one cartoon, okay? And what makes my heart happy is that when I became aware of attachment and trauma, I was like, you're not really needed, because people can be themselves. They can come for personal development, self-help, but they can go to good therapists. And that's where, at the same time, I know that I can be needed for those who will resonate with mentorship, content, all of this stuff, right? Because we all will be able to walk each other back home. In my case, I bring to you this infinite higher human conscious potential experience, but I have consistently done what I do out of the love that I have to help people, because that's what I decided I wanted to do when I was 8 years old. And it's a dream come true every day of my life, that I know, even if I'm not here, that the good therapist can get every person to be love in their body. So when I see people running away, I feel bad, because I know, one, they're not running towards love. They're running towards something different. But I also know from enough of the therapists that if they're not ready to meet their inner world, that means that they're still really scared shitless, and you're not going to be able to have them do anything different. Because Peter Levine points out what this looks like. It's a bird with a broken wing who's heading in a cave with a cat inside the cave waiting, and you're saying, I'm here to help you, but that 0-1-year-old and 3-year-old is full of shame, because that's how implicit memory works, and people don't believe in it. I find it hard to believe. Well, I'm not making it from my ass, but you know what? Sure, Cusco, sayonara. So anyways, we all are here to support each other, and I'm here to support you to be this and to know love is easy for some of us, and we plan on helping those who want to feel it easy to be here, because fear is really not fun. It's not fun to see people personally that consistently repeat specific cycles in the absence of needing to, when there's all this great information, even for free. Like right now, it's all for free, but somebody's gonna be like, that's pseudoscience bullshit. Yeah, well, fuck that shit too. Okay, whatever. Go believe your flat earthers and go believe your conspiracies. Go believe in the drama land of movies. Please do. Go believe in Venus as a goddess as a May, because they look more pleasant. Okay, so thank you for stopping by. Please share love. We'll see you again soon. Like, share, subscribe. We can get to 1K. There's Ask Maria content, one-to-one mentorship. Again, personal development done seriously, as you can be your 0-1-year-old and not run away from actual one love. And for me, this all journey of life, easy peasy. The more I love more than I can ever love before. And I've consistently known this because life has never let me down. I learned to be appreciative from Jesus, God, and my mother. And I remember every day as I got to grow up, why are people not able to be their self? I don't understand. And then Bezel van der Kolk made his way, because Jesus taught me about suffering. Bezel taught me about why people don't know how to be just the authentic self. And Daniel Siegel helps me now to describe to you, I'm an integrated brain, differentiated self. I'm in my present right now, and I love people all the time, not just sometimes, but I won't be friends with all people, because if you don't know healthy boundaries to the extent of what, I'm not even going to pick you up. You're not on my radar, but I will make sure to let you know if you decide that you want to be, no, it ain't going to work. So sorry. Okay, now if you're afraid, I'm going to try and be a person who says, I love you. I'll do it from afar. And then, you hope that people, they can figure it out and say, you know what, I want more of that, not less. So some people are aware of that fear, by the way, and this is a time, and that's because our full moon is coming up. We're going to have some channel guidance, by the way. But again, thank you for stopping by, and like, share, subscribe. We'll be back again with more, and share love.